This is how you build your fasting muscle. This is how you work on other levers outside of fasting. What do I mean by other levers? I'm talking about just because you didn't fast for 48 or 72 hours doesn't mean that you just get to eat whatever you want. What it means is you work on your diet lever. You make sure you get some extra steps in. You lift at the gym. You hear me say this all the time. You work on your sleep. You work on other things outside of just straight up fasting. That is how you figure this out. This is how you continue to grow on your journey. But every day matters. Every day counts, because even on the bad days, that's where I continue to work and grow and learn for myself. Did I eat out of emotion, or did I eat because I was truly hungry? Did I eat because I was on vacation and I've never had a specific kind of food before and I wanted to try it out? These are moments where you need to show up for yourself instead of throwing away the day completely. I've been doing this now for 100+ weeks, and I have been practicing imperfect consistency, a mix of ADF, eating every other day, fasting every other day, days where I'll eat 5,000 calories, 7,000 calories, even close to 10,000 calories. But in those last 76 days, I have proven to not only lose weight doing that while still eating whatever I want, but also practicing imperfect consistency, having good days, having bad days, and keeping the weight stable or pushing the weight down. If you want to talk about me pushing hard, you can see here at the very beginning, in the first 142 days of my journey, I lost 80 pounds. I was losing weight like crazy at the very beginning because I was pushing very long fasts, almost a 93-hour fast on average. In the last 701 days, that fasting average has pushed itself down to around 49 hours. The thing that hasn't changed, though, is I continue to show up for myself day after day after day. I promise you, if you can be honest about what you're doing, if you can show up for yourself even on the bad days and learn from those bad days instead of just saying, well, what's the point? Who cares? I'll just start on Monday. Where has that gotten you? Because if you're here right now because you're struggling, because you keep saying to yourself, I'm going to start on Monday, and here you are now debating when you should start, when in fact, you should have just continued on your journey. My very last refeed was over 5,300 calories. Did I say to myself, well, 5,300 calories on a Saturday, I might as well eat all day Sunday? No, even though I ate 5,300 calories on Saturday, I fasted all day on Sunday. I didn't say, well, it's the weekend, might as well eat on Sunday as well. I guess I could have if I really wanted to, but where is that going to lead me? Then I'm going to have to fight to really keep myself at a caloric deficit. So take some time off from food. After eating on Friday and Saturday, I fasted on Sunday and I fasted all day yesterday. And here we are now getting 50+ hours or 60+ hours fasted in. The day after eating 5,300 calories, I gained an additional 5.2 pounds. So on the 4th and the 5th of October, I gained 7.2 pounds. But then this morning, after 52 hours fasted, I lost 9 pounds. This morning, I weighed in at 140.4 pounds, almost breaking into the 130s. That's why I also tell myself it's not 9 pounds of fat that I lost in 2 days. I also didn't gain 7.2 pounds of fat after eating 2 days in a row. It could be water weight. It could be waste. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the scale says. I'm not too worried about it because what matters to me is how my clothes fit. If I still have excess body fat, that's what matters to me. That's what I care about more. Obviously, I care also about my health and making sure my numbers are where they need to be. But right now, I'm not worried about the scale. I'm not worried about what the number on the scale says. I am more interested in, am I going to lose the rest of this body fat on my belly? It is more than just fasting. This is a combination of eating well and performing cardio and getting to the gym and strength training and getting good sleep and taking care of my mental health. In the last 76 days, as I have been tracking pretty diligently, my daily step average is close to 16,000 steps. Yesterday's step count was a little over 16,000. I'm way above my goal here. Strength training wise, the following morning after a refeed, which I've been able to do. So I talk about the 80-20 rule. What is the 80-20 rule? How do I implement what I call the 80-20 rule? That is where 80% of the time I do what I should be doing, keeping my calories in check, fasting, getting my steps in, lifting weights. I do that the majority of the time. 20% of the time, I'm eating whatever I want. I am going out for drinks. I am spending time with my friends. But that's only 20% of the time. You'll see here as we look at these stats over the last 76 days, I have had 63 80% days where my average calories per refeed is about 3,000. The other 20% of the time, it's way higher, 5,900 calories per refeed, a lot higher. And while that may be a lot, look at the frequency of when that's happening. 13 times. So even though I might be eating a ton of calories, in the last 2.5+ months, it's happened about 6 times or 5 times at this point. Do you have to follow an 80-20 rule? No. Do you have to eat 5,900 calories like me? No. You don't have to do anything like that. I'm just sharing with you what my journey looks like. If the 80-20 rule is helpful for you, apply it. It also doesn't have to be 80-20. It could be 90-10. It could be 70-30. It could be 65-35. And you don't have to eat that many calories. I just have a 20% day because it is a way for me to work social outings into my schedule. It is a way for me to enjoy a vacation without feeling guilty or ashamed about it. It's a way for me to tell myself, today's not a 20% day. Today's a day you're fasting. Today's a day where you're keeping your calories in control. That's how I look at it. You don't have to apply it that way, but do what works for you. Do you weigh yourself more than once a day with a different weight each time? This is something that people will talk to me about. This is something that I have talked about. But for me, yes, if I step on the scale multiple times a day at different times during the day, that number is going to fluctuate. Why? Because it's usually water weight moving itself in or out. For me, I have stopped trying to manipulate the scale. And all I do, I wake up in the morning, I go to the bathroom, whether it's going to pee or having a bowel movement, regardless, wake up, go to the bathroom, step on the scale, done. I put it away. I don't see it for the rest of the day. I don't come home after the office and I'm like, maybe I'll step on the scale and see where it's at. No, I don't mess with it that way because I don't need to keep a number and be like, this isn't good enough, or be like, oh, this is exactly where I want it to be. I don't obsess over that number. I step on the scale. It's the same time, usually first thing when I wake up in the morning after going to the bathroom, and that's it. If I were to step on the scale multiple times during the day, that number will fluctuate. It does. I've tried it. I know what it's like obsessing over a number, and I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be that serious.